today. We have a special guest. Yeah, I know all of my guests are special. We have a special guest in the house, Niles Flagg. He's going to tell us about his journey in filmmaking and directing movies. So, Niles, could you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Niles Flagg, filmmaker, entrepreneur. I'm a writer, director, producer, founder of I Imagine Studios.
That's it, Niles?
You there? Okay, yeah. Yeah.
You hear me?
It cut off for a second, but
you hear me?
You're back.
Oh, we back. That's that technology now. That's that technology.
Sure.
But and I heard you was good at technology.
You know, I can do a few things. But yeah, we can't control the stream. Sometimes, they pop out and pop on, but we're here.
That's right. We just got to make the best of it.
Sure. Yeah. So
now let me ask you, y'all, we talking to Niles Flagg. Let me ask you a question. Let's start from when your journey took off at. Let's go back. Because I know you've been doing it for a couple of years now. Let's go back to when you first started that you wanted to be a film director and do the things that you're doing today. How did it start for you?
In filmmaking, it's kind of a strange path, I guess. I started out in Houston, Texas, and I was working at an office that was creating, little did I know, was creating software in Hollywood for visual effects. And I was building disk arrays for the systems. Those are hard drives for the systems that artists operate. And a video tape came in, and it was on my desk, and I popped it in, and it had all these graphics and visual effects from all these different movies. And I turned around and looked at the owner and the engineers and said, "This is what we're making?" And they were like, yeah. It was kind of top secret, and I didn't know much about it, but as soon as I saw it, I knew that's what I wanted to do. And from there, I moved to Los Angeles, and everything else was like, I got a job in LA, and I would drive, I got a job initially as a production assistant, which is where everyone starts out basically in the film industry. Mm-hmm. And while I worked my day job, at night, I would drive almost 30 miles to Burbank to train on the software that I had been working on in Houston. And so I trained myself for about 9 months. And the software is called Flame, and it's still around. It's been bought out now by Autodesk. And you could find it on Autodesk software. There's tutorials if anyone wants to go learn or check it out. It's on Autodesk's website. It's called Flame, and it's for visual effects. So I got my first job doing visual effects, and from there, I made a commercial director's reel. I got signed as a commercial director, and from there, it just moved forward. So
let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me. not cut you off. Like, was it hard because you started doing physical, visual effect? Was it hard to learn, or you just got on the computer and just started messing around with the computer and the software?
It was really hard. It was really
Mm.
you have to read a lot of the tutorials. It was like looking at Russian. I had no idea how to code. I had no idea how to run the operating systems that these systems ran on. I started from ground zero basically. And
Mm.
you know, when when you really want something, you'll do whatever it takes. And I wanted to learn the software, and so I would network and find avenues of learning. So, for
Mm.
instance, even though I would drive to a facility and I had a system I could sit at and read the manuals and punch the buttons, reading the manual is like reading Russian. And you press a button and you get the result that you want, but you still don't really know what you're doing or why you're doing it. It's a lot to
Mm.
learn. So I was very fortunate that um, there were several women in Hollywood in visual effects. Sheena, who was the head of Sony High Speed Compositing. There was Marie Jose, who was at CFC Compositing. These are all visual effects houses in Hollywood.
Mm.
And they would allow me to pick up the phone, call them and ask them questions about software. What am I doing? What is the purpose of this and whatnot? And they literally, help me learn the software. And
Mm.
not only that, they would help me get jobs and whatnot as well, once I was trained up and whatnot. So I started from ground zero, didn't know a thing about um, the operating system. Was called IRIX that it ran on, which was similar to Unix. It was very, 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 very difficult, but it was something I wanted to do, so I was willing to put it in.
And you didn't give up, because look at you now.
Didn't give up. We're still here, still running it.
And that's, oh wow, and it been years. So this what I'm talking about. I always talk on my podcast with entrepreneurs and marketing people, like, don't give up, follow your dream. But was this really a dream of yours, or you just landed?
I would say it's my dream job. I'm very fortunate to have been able to do it for as many years that I have.
Oh, okay.
Definitely.
Okay. So now you know the ins and the outs.
Sure. Yeah. You know, yeah, it's like second nature to me today, as opposed to when I first started. It was like I
Uh-huh.
said, reading Russian. It was like it was a language I had no clue how to understand, literally. And
Now,
you
did you
take
ever?
a year, if you take a year out of your life and dedicate to learning the thing that you want, you're going to come out successful on the other end.
So, did you ever thought about giving up?
Sure, everybody does from time to time. It's
Mm-hmm.
only a natural thing. All kinds of thoughts might enter one's brain, but
Mm-hmm.
at times things get frustrating. It gets difficult. You run in some of the same old things that we typically run in, and then you have this
Right.
whole other language to learn on top of that. It was very difficult when I was training, because I was new to Hollywood, number one. Number two, I didn't know that Hollywood was full of sharks, basically. You'll find out we'll find out who's your friend and who's not pretty quick. Um,
Oh wow.
my 9-month training stint was an eye opener. Let's put it that way. Uh,
Mm,
yeah, definitely something else. But
mm,
ever since then, I would have to say that I worked in a field um, uh, for a long time. I post supervised movie trailers, and a movie trailer is what's projected on the screen in the theater. A commercial is what
mhm.
you see on television. We made movie trailers, and uh, that was a very extensive, hard job that I had done uh, for quite some time. And you run into certain things that make your job hard, and of course you're gonna, all kinds of things might run through your brain about what you would
Right.
like to do at that point. I thought about, especially doing trailers for as many years as I did. Yeah, I thought about leaving it earlier than I did, but I worked for quite some time in that field, and uh, and now I'm moving on to directorial, feature
Mm.
directorial. So
Well, could you explain to us what do that mean?
directing feature films.
Oh, that's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. Oh, okay. So you started off with the trailers and stuff. So is it a big difference than doing working with the doing trailers and then now you directing, or is it like the same for you? Because you know the projects already. You know like how to do the virtuals and how to do the trailers. Is that like the same?
It's it's not the same, but it's part of the same chain of all the work that has to be done.
Mm,
And uh, I came from production, and going from production to post production. Those are the two sides of getting a film produced and finished.
mm.
And I had learned both sides, so I'm capable of handling both ends of
Both of
the
them.
candle.
Oh, okay, because it seemed like I don't. It seemed like hard work. I guess when you're on the outside looking in, and you don't know it, it's gonna seem like it's hard work to you.
It is. I mean, it can be easy, but it can be really difficult, you know.
Mhm.
So it really depends on what type of job you're doing within the film. Visual
Mhm.
effects is one aspect of it. Editing the movie, the sound. You have all these different elements that go into making your film, and each one of those elements is a job.
Mm, mm, mm. So, what do you like better, or is it this? They don't directing or the visual trailers you make. What was exciting to you? Like you said, I can't wait to get to work to do what?
That's really interesting because I, there are times when I love production. I really love
Mm-hmm.
production. I love writing. I love seeing something that I write on paper come alive with people, with characters, with souls. I see this blank page come alive. Um, I like seeing that. I like, I'll shoot something, and of course, I have a lot of fun on set. But when I'm done, I'm really excited to get back into the edit bay so I can see
Mm.
what it is. That's kind of exciting to me. I mean, I think every part of it excites me. When I get to one stage and I finish it, I'm excited to go to the next phase. So
Mm.
I think that's what keeps me in it.
Oh, okay. And then as you've been working for a long time, editing, trailers, directing. So it's
Mhm.
probably like a piece of cake because I know every time you learn something, because the computer technology is always giving you new things to learn, and or do you got everything packed? Because there's always something coming out that you got to learn.
I'm always learning. I'm learning something new right now. You know, it never stops because
Right.
things change. Things in the film industry are ever changing, whether
Yeah.
it's color specifications or whether it's, you know, some kind of editorial plug-in or some new software. There's always something to learn for sure.
Right.
And
Right. So
you know,
when you virtual, now that you directing mean that you're working with actual actors, right? And
mm-hmm,
actresses.
mm-hmm.
So it is a difference between the virtual trailers that you've been doing. Cause are you still working with the people, or is it animated? Like,
Is what? Say the question again.
directing, you're gonna be
Uh-huh.
working with humans, like actors and actresses. Is it the same when you're doing the virtual trailers? Is everything animated, or are you still working with actors and actors?
I mean, and it depends. Like there are so many different ways to get to animation. You can use humans to make animation today. So
Yeah.
it really depends on how that process went down. But I would say typically it's overall right now I've been working with actors and actresses, humans, and transforming, you know, these people into the characters that are on paper.
So is it? I don't want to get you in no trouble or not, but is it better working with the humans, or is better doing virtual?
I mean, it's funny you say that because I just shot a little short film on Sunday, and I'm going to be turning people into robots. So
Wow.
so it's, you know, that process. I use the person's body movements to attach their animation of their body movements to a CGI character. And now the CGI character will replace them and move exactly how they moved. So there's so many different ways to do so many different things in film.
And you gotta know the computer to do all that. You have to really know the computer.
I mean, it's getting easier. I'll say that. It's really getting easier for a lot of people out there. Seriously. I mean,
Wow.
you know, as technology and AI and computers all come
Yeah.
to make it easier for people, that makes my job easier too. So it makes people who aren't experienced look like better filmmakers, but it also makes professional filmmakers even step up their game. So our game is even going to look better. So it is becoming easier for people to make, you know, a film today. You can use your iPhone today.
iPhone.
You know, people shouldn't really complain. I even use my iPhone
Oh,
as
okay.
a professional. So there's no excuse for anyone to not, if they want to do it, there's so many tools at, you know, in your pocket, so to speak,
Yeah, that's
that
true.
you can use.
But you
Devices.
also have to learn. You also have to learn how to use it. Because like me, I don't know nothing. So you'll have to learn how to. And I know Google out there. I know YouTube out there.
You don't have to learn. You know,
You know?
let me say this, because this is something that I think the community thinks is that you got to learn all this stuff before you try. Do you think Groucho Marx, the Marx brothers who made, you know, some of, you know, the early Hollywood films, do you think they knew what they were doing? They didn't know what they were doing. And they had to develop the film before they could even see it. You got digital today. There's no excuse for, I don't think there's any excuse for anyone today.
So you saying, audience, we talking to Niles Flag.
Yeah.
So you saying anybody can do, say a trailer, make their own trailer.
If you're inspired to do it, you can do it.
Yeah, they said you could do anything you put your mind to.
You can do it. I mean, we definitely we have so many, tools at our hand, devices. There's really, literally, if someone wanted to put a story together and make a movie, we see it now on TikTok. The little, the little stories that are coming together, we see it already happening. And to be honest, those are the filmmakers of today. The way I look at it, the format changed, it changed on us, the professionals, and it went down to the regular person. And that's the filmmaking of today. I look at it that way, that these are contributors to the filmmaking culture. Mm-hmm. All the kids out there doing it, and even some of the adults that are doing the kiddie stuff out there on TikTok. They're all filmmakers. They're all contributing something. Sometimes I'll see something and I'll go, wow, I would not have done that, but I would, that's interesting. And, it might inspire me for something else. You never know. I get inspiration. Yeah, you can, even some of the professionals can get inspired by some of the novices.
That's good to hear, because I'm still thinking about, I've been trying to turn my book into a movie for the longest, like for years. I had a lot of people reached out and was going to help me, but it ain't like go through. And now you're talking, like my friend, she said she do plays and she do like movies, and she use her iPhone for everything. Mm-hmm. So I got an Android. So I guess I need to upgrade, because
every phone has a camera on it. Why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's so easy these days. You just download a little editing software on your phone, and you get all your clips in there and just chop them up. You start playing around with it. You don't know what you're doing, but just start playing around with it. That's exactly what those women that taught me from Sony, they said, push the buttons. You're not going to break anything. Just push the buttons.
Wow.
When you push all the buttons on your phone, it doesn't break. You might get lost, but it doesn't break your phone.
Right.
So you're not going to break it. So just push and give it a shot. Just try. You never know.
That's true. Yeah, I hear that.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Don't give up. Because I've been reaching out to people. I reached out to some lady in California, but then a lady that I knew, she was like, the lady wanted $5,000 for a script for the movie, and then she wanted to make the movie on top of that. But I don't know. I'm gonna ask you, is it different? Because my friend said, if you can do a script, I know that's probably not in your field, but if you can write a script, a book, because I write books. If you can write books, you can write a script.
That's not the same.
It's not?
That's not the same. No.
Wow.
It's definitely the same. And so, yeah, there's a lot that goes into script writing.
Wow.
And you could do it and you could make a film. It just might not be successful, but you could get it done.
She said it might not be successful.
Maybe nobody wants to watch it, but anybody could get anything done. And that's the object. If you're driven to learn that's the key, is to get something done. Not to sit there and talk about it, but to just experiment with it, play with it, break it, try to break it, try to do things that maybe haven't been done. Pull some editing software down, pull the footage in, start editing some stuff, put the effects on there, see what it looks like. You all you have to do is just start playing with it, in order to learn.
Because it don't hurt to try, especially when you got an iPhone.
You're gonna learn. What could go wrong?
That's true. So, that's true. Yeah, I hear that. We talking to Niles Flagg, director, filmmaker. Y'all have any questions? Put it in a comment, please. He'll be glad to answer some of y'all questions. But I have a question for you, far as directing.
Okay.
I have never really thought about directing, but I've been seeing like the movies, and it just looks so like easy. Is it easy? Like, I know you could do anything you put your mind to it, but far as, let's talk about directing. How is it easier? Because sometimes you can have a cast, they can get mad at you because you're working with humans now. So how do that work? Do you just do your job and
Just do
call
your
it a
job.
day?
You know, people are adults. They stay professional. They do what they're there to do.
Some people.
You know, that's the object of that position, that job. And it like anything, it can get difficult, at times, but that's part of the job, and you're there to deal with those elements to get the film in the can.
Wow. It just seems so, because I don't know, working with other people, sometimes it can be hectic. You can go home with a headache. And I guess that's with any job. You can go home with a headache from working at McDonald's.
Sure. Easily.
Yeah, that's from any job. So some of the movies, let's talk about that. Some of the movies that you worked on.
I did a lot of campaigns. So the trailer campaigns extend from Tyler Perry's trailers to Transformers, Iron Man, Saw, Avengers. I mean, I did thousands and thousands of movie trailers for a span of about, I don't know, 7 to 8 years or so.
Wow. Now, because you're a director, do you miss doing trailers, or you still do trailers?
I have not been doing them. I do not miss them.
It's hard to do it because the trailer look like it's so easy.
That trailers is a very, very difficult and fast-paced environment. I would not recommend someone start in that part of filmmaking. But yeah, that's it. Making trailers is a very fast-paced and very ever-changing at the moment type world. So you really do need to know, a little bit about what you're doing to work in the. That's all market.
A lot of people told me the trailers is so easy to do, like just a second, like a 30-second trailer. Because I've been shopping around.
Ask excuse me. Ask them how much revenue their trailer garnered their film, and that'll give you an idea of whether they made a good trailer or not.
Oh, okay. If they made money from it.
So you can imagine Transformers, I think we did 700 million the first weekend. I think Avengers broke that at $1 million something, went over $1 billion. Tyler Perry started out at about, I would say about 18 to 20 million and went up to like 30 million a weekend.
How many movies you did his trailers for? I mean, how many movies that you did with Tyler Perry trailers?
It's so many.
Don't say so many. So many you can't count.
I can tell you, yeah, so many that I could not. But I started my first trailer was Daddy's Little Girls. The first trailer I supervised was Daddy's Little Girls for Tyler Perry, and for Paramount. I'm sorry, Lionsgate, and it went through to about 2010, 2011. So that's a lot of Tyler Perry movies, because he did Christmas movies with Madea, and there was at least 2-3 movies a year with Tyler during that span. There's always a holiday movie, if not every year, every other year at least.
And his movie's still playing today. That little
Yep.
girl just came on the other day.
Oh,
So
did it?
yes. So it's still playing. It's still playing. I love that movie.
It's a
But
great movie.
yeah, it is. It's
Good
real
family
good.
story.
Yes, it is. So I know you can't choose which one was the best you worked on, but
Yeah. That was a little spot. I do, I have, I guess my favorite changes with my mood.
uh-huh.
I would say one of the favorites would be um, Tropic Thunder. And that was a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Another would be um, the, what was it called? I can't remember the name, but it's a Martin Scorsese film it had everybody in it. It had Caprio, it had everybody. What, I can't remember the name of it though. I want to say The Undefeated or something like that, or it was something.
Mm-hmm.
It was something like that. I would have to look up the Martin
Yeah.
Scorsese film, but some of those are my favorites. Another one of my favorites. I worked on the first Avatar trailer. We post supervised that, and technologically that was really cool to work on. So they're all different. I mean,
Yeah.
The Dark Knight is one of my favorites. Heath Ledger, Batman, that, they change.
Yeah, because I know all movies like they different genres, like suspense, thrillers. So which one is like as far as you doing a trailer for, which one is like a difficult trailer to do? Like is it a thriller? Is it a mystery, comedy?
It would be some of the ones that the more difficult ones were. So in the process of trailer in movie making in general, they shoot the movie and then it goes into post-production. Post-production is where the editing and the visual effects and all the other stuff get put together.
Oh, okay.
So when we're making a trailer, the visual effects are typically not finished. So we can't really grab visual effects shots from the VFX houses because there's nothing to get. So we have to kind of make it up and put it in the trailer of what we think it's supposed to look like.
Right.
And that's really difficult to backwards engineer. We call it backwards engineering the film itself. And that's kind of what we did. That was one of our specialties. And when we do that, that's very difficult.
So how long do it take? I know every trailer, every movie is different. What's the least amount of time it took you to do a trailer?
I couldn't tell you.
Wow.
I mean, in general, they take, weeks on end, and that depends on the creative. Long? Yeah, because, creative can change. And when the creative edit changes, that means everything else is going to change in the structure of the build of the trailer. So it really depends. I can't remember any one that was harder than any of the others. They were all really hard.
And it takes like a week to do a movie trailer?
Several weeks.
Several weeks.
Sometimes a couple of months. It just depends.
Oh, wow. Now, did you ever get to the point when you did a trailer and did they just had somebody, I don't know, higher than you, a position, had to just take the trailer and you had to start from scratch because they didn't approve it? Or had you ever had that happen to you?
Well, yeah, that's what I was just talking about. So when the creative edit changes, everything changes down the line. It starts with the creative and then everything changes down the line. So
Oh,
Yeah, that's an everyday regular feature. That's what makes the job hard because things change.
yeah.
I could get a change in my email right now, and 5 minutes later, it's gonna change again. It could be just like, it could be just that like that.
Wow.
And we were trained to expect that. We were trained to be able to make these changes and to work through those changes.
So y'all was trained not to have an attitude about the situation.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I mean, to be honest, like, yeah, you know, you have your PC, your politically correct moments, and then you have your moments where you need to let it go. It's a very difficult job, and we're very fortunate to be able to expose our frustrations in our job. We were never held back, I could say, from expressing if we, any way we felt at our job.
Oh, okay. So everybody, it's just that with your job, everybody has to be on the same page.
True that, for real. It takes a team, and they all have to be on the same page. Your team has to be on the same workflow. Everybody knows when the red button's supposed to be pushed and which person gets to push the red button. Who pushes the green button, and who pushes the yellow. Everyone knows their position and stands on that. And we had a great team. We had a great team. We accomplished a lot for the studios for many, many years.
So what made you want to go into directing now?
I always wanted to direct. I really went into post-production so that I could learn from everyone. And doing trailers allowed me to learn from all the top directors around the world. I worked around everyone, in every, that was a really cool aspect.
Oh, okay. So because some people, when you work with certain people, are you good with taking advice from other people?
You listen to your team, it's a team effort. Sometimes you have a storyboard and you're just following it, shot by shot. And sometimes you're listening to creative input. It really just depends on what type, environment I'd be working in for that. Sometimes it's all technical and not creative. And you could have 10 ways to do that technical job, right? And somebody might come in and say, hey, man, if you push these 3 buttons, it's going to do that and save you like 30 minutes, right? So if someone is trying to help me, definitely, I always reach out, or I have good team members that, support me.
So where do you see yourself? Because you've been doing this for a long, long time. Do you see yourself retiring soon?
I do not. I don't.
Because you love what you do.
I do. I don't see myself retiring. In fact, I'm just getting started with feature films now. So I'm going to be directing. I'm sorry. I'll be directing my first feature this year, but I'm also director of photography on another feature starting in June.
So you just keep it going. You just work, huh?
We're trying to. That's I mean, I want to entertain. So
right.
We need more movies out there. I mean, I think y'all watched all the movies on Tubi that there is. So we need new ones.
Wait, I know I did.
Y'all need some new stuff to watch.
I know I did.
We are trying to get y'all the new stuff. Hang tight. It's coming.
So you're trying to get the movies back in the movie theater so people can go out.
That would really that would be really great. I would love that. I would love that. That's going to take some time to get back into the groove of that, because before the pandemic, as I was saying earlier, we had $1 billion weekends, and that just does not exist right now. Everyone is scrambling to figure out how we can get back to that. People are watching more streaming than they're watching, movies in the theater. People are watching streaming more than they're watching television. The world is changing right now, and the structure of films is right now it's TikTok. People are doom scrolling and watching this after another for hours, as if it were a movie itself. And even though the story is not connected, they're watching all these hundreds of little stories, little quick stories, right? So the attention span is being shifting. You know what I mean? Like, I can see, people's ability to sit in a 2-hour movie is shifting because of TikTok. Because of social media, not TikTok in general. I mean social
media. Yes. So trying to get everybody back in the movie theaters is going to be hard. To me, I'm surprised a lot of the movie theaters is still open, to tell you the truth. Because like you said, everybody watch Tubi, everybody watch Netflix. We in the state of our home. Have you ever did like a movie or working on a movie like towards Tubi, that's for Tubi and for Netflix, or no? You never thought about it?
I mean, we are gearing up to do just that. This year, we've put the team together. We're building out one of the facilities that we'll be working out of here right now. And that's exactly the idea, is to start getting the movies that we're going to be making on the streaming platforms. Yeah,
that streaming is powerful. I don't know when the last time I went to the movie theater. I don't know.
I would love to go to the theater with it. It's expensive,
and
in order to get you guys to go to the movie, you have to spend a tremendous amount in marketing, So in order to have my flick in theaters around the United States, that costs a lot. You have to mail those packages to each theater so that they can project your film in the first place.
Oh, that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
And that costs a lot. That's a lot, And then, in order to get you to the theater, then you have to run a lot of marketing. So
and that's expensive too.
It's expensive, and streaming has cut the cost. And if you think about it, streaming commercials on streaming garner more revenue than TV commercials.
Oh, wow.
So they're making more money on the commercials that you watch streaming than they do on the television today.
And now some streaming, you don't even have to have commercials on your packages. No ads. You don't even have to watch commercials. You pay for no commercials.
Tubi makes you watch commercials. So
yeah, Tubi make you, but Netflix getting into no ads. There's a lot of different ones getting into no ads. And I was like, when I found out they went up on
Netflix always had no ads. They just started having ads.
Who, Tubi?
No, Netflix.
Okay. They just started having ads.
Right. So they have now a couple of different ways you can buy into Netflix. You can buy the no ad version, and then you can pay for the ad version.
Yeah. I don't care about the ads. I don't care. They commercials. I was born and raised on commercials. A lot of people, I think it's the younger generations get mad because the commercials pop up. You understand what I'm saying? But we was born and raised on commercials.
Well, I'm not part of the younger generation, but I hate them.
You hate
them all too.
For real? Oh my God. A lot of people hate commercials now. I don't understand, because I was talking about this on my TikTok. Commercials is exercise. You can get up and go get something to drink, go get something to eat, go to the bathroom. I love commercials. because even though with the streaming now, you can just pause it, but it ain't like it's exercise, it's walking. Did you get that now?
Sure. Yeah. But still,
it's exercise. We need that.
I prefer not. I prefer not.
You don't care about the exercise or nothing. You just don't want to add.
Yeah. I mean, have it coming from commercial production and work, I know that's part of our bread and butter and whatnot, but when I'm at home and want to watch something, I want to relax. Honestly, don't want to see any ads anymore. These days, it's possible. I prefer that. I'll pay not to see ads.
Maybe I need to get with the time then. Maybe it's just me. Because I thought about the commercials you can run and get your little snack. You come back, because commercial, 3 minutes? And you go run and try to do whatever you got to do and then get back and watch the commercial. That's how I looked at it. It was exercise, walking up and down those stairs. But now it's just a flick. You just press the button and you pause everything.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Pause it. Fast forward if you can, or find the plug-in that skips the commercials. I'll look for any way, around it.
And it's just that, like, I don't know. I just, maybe I'm old school. I just like the commercials. I don't mind a commercial. I know a lot of people just hate it, but me myself, I don't mind commercials. And
now, if I go to Tubi and watch my friend's film, I'm going to watch the commercials because I want my friend to get paid. And that is what I do when I'm watching any of my friends' films that they've made and they're on Tubi and whatnot. I will watch the commercials because I want my friends to get paid.
Oh, they get paid for commercials. If
we
commercials
get paid by the commercial.
Oh, I never knew that. So maybe I need to change my mindset then. I didn't know they get paid for the commercial. I thought the people who do the commercial get paid. They had a commercial on it.
Nope. And that's how the filmmakers get paid because Tubi they don't pay for our movies. We submit them and then they will stream them for us and they'll add the commercials in there. And we get paid by those commercials, by how many views. It's called CPM. So however many views or clicks that we get is what we get by. We get paid by view, and then we get paid a little bit more if you click on it.
Well, because they do got a like and dislike button and stuff like that. I didn't know that. See, they say you learn something every day. You learn something every day. And I was like, I don't care about commercials. I love them. I sit there and watch the commercials. Because commercials, I was thinking that it hurt people because they advertise in their products. You understand what I'm saying? So I was like, why are they taking away the commercials? And it's just the people advertising their products.
Right.
So I don't understand. So do you mentor younger directors, filmmakers that want to come up, the upcoming ones?
I pay it forward. They trained me, and when people ask me questions, I'll answer their questions and whatnot. Yeah. I mean, I don't take anybody under my wing per se and train them per se, but if people ask me questions and want to learn more and whatnot, I'll have a conversation with them and
so you don't would you ever do that? Take somebody under your wing just to show them the ropes?
I'd tell them to go to film school.
You would tell them to go to school?
I would tell them to go to film school because I did it in such an unorthodox manner that I would prefer someone not follow my path. I went the hard way. You don't want this pain. You don't want this. I'll let you avoid it all.
But because it's a lot of like people like can't afford to go to film school, can't afford to do certain things. You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And to be honest, I had already been to college I went to school for music, so I didn't even go for film. So when I went into film, I learned myself and networked with people who the senior artists will tell you they'll pay it forward. Like I'm saying it now. If someone has a question on, say they're learning DaVinci, which is the name of an editing software we all use. If someone said, you know, hey, do you know if da 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 da? Sure, I'll answer their questions like that and help them out.
Okay.
Give them some tips on how to use it. But as far as pulling somebody in and taking them under my wing and whatnot, more than likely not, because I need my, you know, I'm still in a creative space where I'm growing creatively, and I need to have that kind of space to develop.
That's understandable. That's understandable. But far as someone, do you have any advice for? I understand you just said go to film school, but for upcoming that's watching this, do you have any like the do's and the don'ts when it comes down to that? Getting started in the business.
I mean, I would say do it all, because you'll learn from your mistakes. You know, I learned from my mistakes. Some things that, you know, let me put it this way. When I was trying to get signed as a commercial director, I didn't know what I was doing. And number one, I didn't know what I was doing. And number two, I was broke. I didn't even, you know, when I became a commercial director, it was still film. There was no digital yet. It was film. You had to develop your film before you even saw what the heck you did. You didn't get no look backs. Let me check it out. You didn't get any of that. So you had to really be precise at what you were doing, number one. But when what was the point I was going to make? Coming up in that era, and you know, not knowing what I was doing, and my desire was to become a commercial director. And back in those days, you had to put your demo reel on a VHS tape, and you had to mail that VHS tape, that big old VHS tape, to every facility, you know, every commercial place in town, right? So as I'm learning, I made my demo reel, and as I was learning how to put all that together, when I got to the point of putting my VHS tape together, I forgot the labels. You had to pay more for the labels on it, or else nobody knew who you were.
Right.
So I had to order a box of 1,000 VHS tapes. So you had to go to what's called back then a dub house, and they would copy all your demo reel to 100 VHSs would be on the wall. They would have like 100 VHS machines on the wall, and a production guy would put tapes in every one of them. They would record your video to all 100 VHSs at once. They put them in a box and hand you the box with no labels. These are some of the mistakes I didn't even know back then, right? So I get home, I got no labels. I was like, whoa, I screwed up again, right? So it was going to cost another $1,000 to buy the labels to get them printed and to get them all prepped and everything. I was like, I just spent everything I got just to get this, right? So I didn't have no more money. So what did I do? I had a comic book collection. I took that comic book collection, I cut it up, printed my name on the comic book, right on the comic book. I put it right in my printer, printed my name on that, cut them out, and super glued them to the VHS and sent them out. Let me tell you, this is one of those mistakes where you're falling up. What the feedback that I got from the places that I was sending it to was that this is the most creative thing we've ever seen. Oh wow! Look at this, and I was like, oh, they really like it? Oh yeah, we did that on purpose. Yeah.
Wow.
We were broke. You just got to do what you got to do. Be creative and get it in. Do what you got to do, and you never know how the public's going to accept what you're doing.
Right.
You just have to do what you got to do and be creative.
Right. And that was the do. What about the don'ts?
The don'ts, I don't know any don'ts. You do the don'ts, you make a mistake and you learn from it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, you know, don't drop your camera in the water. How about that?
Don't drop the camera in the water. Oh wow, yeah, we talking to Now Flags. He about to leave, but I want before you leave, like, do you have any inspirational words to send to the people, to say to the people?
Follow your dreams. As everyone says, follow your dream. I would say if you really want to do this and you really, want your films to be more successful, it used to be where Tubi would accept any old film. They changed their standards, and now you have to up the quality of your work. And that's where a lot of people, they were happy just to get a movie done and get it up on Tubi initially, but now they can't get their movie up there. Well, that's your sign to learn the next step in true filmmaking. Learn those specifications, learn the technical aspects for deliveries, learn how to master color, master your sound. Most of us are in music and know that you have to master. If you do a rap track, you got to master it at the end. It's the same thing with film. We master our film sound too. So you have to learn those elements, learn all those technical elements for your delivery, I would say.
Oh, okay. That's good advice.
That's something probably no one would tell you, but learning those elements will up the quality and standards of your filmmaking for sure.
And that's just like running a business. Like I just learned, my husband told me that you have to learn everything in your business. My publishing company, I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to do the book design. He was like, you have to learn all that. You're supposed to know all that. But sometimes you got to stay in your lane now. You got to stay in your lane.
You learn it so that you know what the person you hired to do it should be doing. So that you can manage your business. You still give it out to the team members. You don't really try. Even though I could sit down, if you look at, so I started a group on Facebook called the 1 Minute Script Group. And we shoot, it's on Facebook, the 1 Minute Script. Look up 1 Minute Script on Facebook and you'll find it. And we shoot a 1 minute script every, weekly, bi-weekly, and I'm doing everything in there. And I tell you, the films they're not as perfect as I would like them. But the point is that we're able to get them done from A to Z and put them out.
Okay.
Perfect or not, we're just cranking them out. And each step of the way, the actors are learning something new and I'm learning something new. I might be learning something technical with the camera that I didn't, that I've always wanted to try. There's all different things that we're all there to do. And so I would say, practice what you want to do, research it, practice it again and again and again.
Yeah. You gotta do practice. It makes you better by keep practicing, messing up, doing it over. Don't give up.
What did Kobe do? He did it over and over and over again.
All right. Yeah.
That's how he became champion.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you want to do something and be very successful at it, that's the kind of, aspect of filmmaking that I'm in right now. I'm pushing myself to do everything in the 1 Minute Script Group without a crew, so that it's just going to better my game overall.
Yeah. But oh wow! So that thing, I learned a lot. from having you on my show. Thank you for being on Let's
Thank
Talk
you.
To podcast.
Appreciate
Now,
it.
if someone want to reach out to you, do you have your social media? Could somebody reach out to you?
Sure. My Insta is Niles I Imagine. So you take my name and I Imagine, just Niles I Imagine, and put those two together. You'll find me there. And it's Niles Flag on Facebook.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you so much for being my guest today.
Appreciate you, Charnel. Thank you.
I appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All right.
All right. Bye.
Good night.
You too. Good night. Good night. Thank everybody for joining us today. Niles Flag was on. Oh, wow. I hope y'all learned a lot from him. I hope y'all learned a lot. Did y'all learn anything from him today? I hope so. So now y'all got to say goodbye. It's time to end. And please reach out to him, especially if y'all want to get into film directing, if y'all want to, do whatever he do. Film director, what else he said he do? He do a lot of stuff. Go on his page, y'all. Go on his page. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much. And enjoy. Enjoy yourselves.
Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk To podcast with author Charnel Williams. Tune in next time every Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget to live, laugh, and love.